Alright, so literacy and baking. There's definitely a lot of literacy, especially when you're dealing with the type of actions you're doing when you're making a cake or you're making cookies. For example, you are bound to add ingredients to whatever you're doing. You're going to bake something. If you're like baking a cake, baking a loaf of bread, baking cookies, you might need to blend something. You might also have to cut something. Say after you're done making the dough, you use your cookie cutters to cut your dough into a specific shape. You might also chop, say, walnuts or chocolate chips into your recipe. And also there's a bunch of tools that you have to use when you bake. For example, you are bound to use something like a mixing bowl, also a whisk, or butter, flour, eggs, and sugar are specific ingredients that most people use when they're baking. If you're making a pie, then you'll need a pie tin. You'll also have to use possibly a measuring cup or a measuring spoon or a measuring cups, but like the smaller types of cups. You might also need to use an apron or an oven glove if you don't want to burn yourself, or muffin tins or a cake pan depending on what you're baking. And of course, you need your oven. So for my literacy, I decided to bake a cake with my little sister. She's 5 and she really loves to bake with me. So I picked one of my famous cookbooks, which I love because I really like the recipes. And she really likes this recipe too. Hello, miss. What's your name?
Daisy.
Daisy. And you're going to be my helper today?
Yeah.
What are we going to be baking?
Cookies.
Cookies. They're golden kalaki. And how many ingredients do we need for these cookies?
4.
4 different ingredients?
Yeah.
So we need fruit preserves and what else?
Flour and
What did that say? 1/2?
1/2.
So we are going to use this cup.
Again?
Yeah, again. We have to measure everything to make sure everything comes out great, right?
Why do we need to use that again?
Well, we're not using this one. We're using this one because it says we need half of a cup. We don't have butter sticks, so we Alright? Is that good?
Yeah.
Of course, when you're dealing with a little 5-year-old, you have to explain a couple things, and you have to input procedures like the use of a measuring cup to measure your ingredients that you're going to be using. Here we have our already measured cream cheese, which we had to measure 4 ounces, and we decided to use a scale since it was easier that way to measure it. And that's where we're going to combine everything. Do you know what combine means?
No?
It means when you mix all the ingredients together. So what does combine mean?
That means if we mix all the ingredients together.
Good job. Okay, so we have our cream cheese. We have our butter.
Butter!
What?
Butter!
And, and now all we need, what else do we need? What's the last thing we need to combine? We don't need our fruit preserves yet. We need cheese for me. And how many ounces did we have of cream cheese?
4.00.
Yes, 4.00. Okay. So, here, you can pour that in.
Okay.
Get the cream cheese.
Okay.
You got it? Oh, sorry. So 4 ounces of cream cheese. That's a lot of cream cheese, right?
Yeah. We just started to put some more cream cheese, and it started to be 4.0. So we need a lot of cream cheese.
Yeah.
Hey, there's cream cheese on my hand.
It's okay. You can wash it.
Yeah. After when we are I'm done putting this.
So the recipe says we have to beat the cream cheese and the butter until smooth. Do we beat it with our hands? Is that how we beat that?
No.
No. How do we beat it? Do you know how?
What does beat it mean?
Beat, it's kind of like... Once again, there's a bunch of technical terms when you're baking, which adds to the literacy of it. You have to combine things, you have to mix things, possibly beat, like I'm trying to explain to my little sister. You also have to bake, possibly sift when you're sifting butter, and a bunch of other things. Till the butter and the cream cheese and the flour turns into dough. Okay?
What's dough?
Do you remember playing with Play-Doh?
I know what dough is.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Yeah, like that. And then after it's like that, we have to put it in the refrigerator, and then later we can cut it out and put the preserves inside, the jelly, and then we cook it.
The pineapple jelly?
Yeah, the pineapple preserves, sorry. So we keep on mixing this, okay, until it forms into dough.
Okay.
Right? It has to be soft dough, so we have to blend it. We're just going to blend it with the spoon for now. Alright, so we combine... Explaining some things may not be easy all the time, especially to a little kid, but you can definitely try to communicate better with relating to things that they know, like Play-Doh and dough have the same consistency. And all of our ingredients.
I'm playing with dough.
Dough? Did we make dough?
Yeah.
Whoa. That's awesome. So now we mix it. So now we have to get the plastic wrap, which is this right here, and we have to divide it, cut it up into 4 equal parts, because we made double the recipe. If we made only for one, And in the end, we had our dough ready, and she was really happy, as you can tell. We separated it into 4 equal parts, which we then had to refrigerate for about 2 hours. It said 1 hour or until firm, but sometimes it takes longer depending on, I guess, the setting of the refrigerator or whatever. So after having it in the refrigerator, we rolled it out. We cut it into small squares, and then we put the preserves inside, and we folded 2 opposite corners into each other, and we also made circle ones. And after that, we put it in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes until they were nice and brown, and we took them out and we ate them, and that was it.